the world changed quietly, so quietly that most of us didn't notice. It didn't arrive with the roar of rockets or the crack of thunder. Instead, it slipped into our lives through a soft glow on a screen. A headline you scrolled past, a quiet discovery whispered between exhausted researchers who realized they had just opened a door humanity had never stepped through before. Pause. Tonight, we walk through that door together, because in the past few months, science and technology have collided in a way that feels less like progress and more like prophecy. Artificial intelligence learning to predict disease before it begins. Quantum computers solving problems our brightest supercomputers would need longer than the age of the universe to crack. New materials lighter than plastic, yet tougher than steel, and all of it. Every new discovery points to one overwhelming truth. We are standing in the earliest moments of a new era. Slow inhale, and the world will not be the same. But like all new eras, this one didn't begin with fireworks or fun. It began with questions. Questions scribbled on whiteboards at 2 a.m. muttered over cups of instant coffee, debated between teams separated by oceans, but united in curiosity. Questions like, what if our machines could learn the laws of biology? What if we could see the invisible structures hidden inside matter? What if we could rewrite materials the way we write code? These aren't science fiction questions anymore. They're headlines real, emerging, unfolding faster than any moment in modern memory. Every week, another breakthrough. Every day, a boundary pushed a little further. And as we explore them now, one by one, we'll see how each invention feels less like a step forward and more like a leap into the future, into a world that is already arriving while most of humanity still sleeps. Our journey begins inside the human body, though not with scalpels, not with stethoscopes. Instead, with algorithms. Recently, a team of scientists created an AI system capable of detecting disease weeks, or even months, before the very first symptoms appear. It doesn't rely on the obvious signs doctors look for. Instead, it watches for microscopic signal shifts in breathing rhythms, tiny fluctuations in blood chemistry, faint patterns in a retinal scan, even subtle changes in the cadence of a person's voice. Things no human could reliably detect. Things so faint, the brain filters them out entirely. But the AI doesn't. It sees everything. And when it does, medicine transforms from reactive to predictive. Imagine living in a world where your smartwatch alerts you to a developing illness long before you feel the first ache. Where cancer is detected at stage 0. Where chronic disease becomes preventable instead of permanent. That world isn't approaching. It's here. But while AI is learning the biology of our bodies, quantum computers are learning the mathematics of the universe. In a moment that stunned even the most optimistic a quantum processor recently solved a problem so astronomically complex that our fastest traditional supercomputer would have required more time than the age of the universe to finish it. A calculation once trapped in theoretical physics, completed in minutes. Quantum computing isn't about speed. It's about possibility. It changes what kinds of problems can be solved. It promises breakthroughs in climate prediction, cryptography, energy systems, drug design, and material science fields that have waited decades for the computational leaps quantum machines can offer. And here's the part that sends chills down the spine. What we are saying now is the dial-up phase. The earliest, crudest generation. If this is what the beginning looks like, what will the middle look like? The end. Meanwhile, material scientists quietly, steadily are rewriting the laws of the physical world. In a breakthrough that almost sounds fictional, researchers engineered an ultralight lattice structure that weighs less than plastic yet survives impacts that would crush steel. It bends without breaking. It twists without tearing. It absorbs shock like a sponge while maintaining the rigidity of metal. Paired with advances in superconducting materials, ones that conduct electricity with zero resistance at warmer temperatures, we're witnessing an entirely new family of technologies emerge. Imagine power grids that lose no energy to heat, buildings that flex and sway through earthquakes without fracturing, aircraft that float like feathers yet endure forces that would tear current materials apart. Imagine phones that never overheat, batteries that last for days, devices that weigh almost nothing. A future not built from concrete, aluminum, or steel, but from elegant, microscopic structures engineered from the atomic level upward. And if you want to understand the scale of what's happening, consider this in a single week, not a year. Not a decade. A trio of scientific breakthroughs were announced that would have each defined an entire generation in the past. An AI model diagnosing early-stage neurological disorders with unprecedented accuracy. A quantum experiment achieving long-distance, entanglement stability never before recorded, and a materials lab producing ultraconductive nanowires that remain stable through extreme temperature swings. 1 week. 3 breakthroughs. 3 industries transformed. For a brief moment, scientists across the world paused, emailed each other, sent late-night voice notes, exchanged stunned messages, realizing they were all feeling the same thing. This wasn't normal. This was acceleration. The curve of progress bending upward with the silent power of a rocket lifting from the launch pad. No explosion, no roar, just a steady rise into a new reality. And here's where the story becomes less about science and more about us. Because technology doesn't evolve alone. We evolve with it. Every breakthrough reshapes how we work, how we learn, how we imagine our futures. But it also forces us to face questions we rarely stop to ask. If machines can outthink us, what becomes of creativity? If algorithms can predict illness, what becomes of uncertainty? If computers can solve the unsolvable, what becomes of mystery? And beneath all of this lies an even deeper question. What does it mean to be human in a world where our own inventions begin to surpass us in so many ways? Pause. The answer isn't fear. The answer is responsibility. Responsibility to guide this momentum with wisdom. Responsibility to ensure progress elevates people rather than replaces them. Responsibility to stay curious, because curiosity, unpolished, deeply human curiosity is something no machine can truly replicate. Not fully, not yet. Some people believe the future arrives with explosions of invention, thunderous breakthroughs that shake civilization. But more often, it arrives quietly. A research paper posted at 3 a.m. A new algorithm deployed silently in the background. A material tested in a lab basement by a grad student who doesn't yet realize they may change the world. These are the soft footsteps of the future. Each discovery a thread. Each thread weaving a web. And suddenly, you look around and realize that the world you grew up in isn't the world you live in now. Everything is faster, brighter, more connected. And as we stand together on this threshold, we feel 2 emotions flicker in the same heartbeat. Awe at what humanity has achieved, and wonder at what comes next. Because deep down, we all sense it. This is a turning point. A hinge in history, quietly swinging open. So what do we do with a moment like this? We pay attention. Because the breakthroughs unfolding right now are not isolated events. They are signals. Signals that the world is accelerating, reshaping itself at a pace that outstrips the imagination of the generations before us. Signals that the boundary between science and science fiction is dissolving. Signals that the tools we are building today may become as transformative as fire, as electricity, as the internet. And standing here, in the soft glow of this unfolding future, it's impossible not to feel something stir. A sense of anticipation. A sense of fragility. A sense that our your choices matter more than ever. Because the future isn't built by machines. It's built by the people who decide how those machines will be used. So take a breath. Let the weight of this moment settle. Let the possibilities unfold quietly in your mind, like glowing embers. AI, predicting the invisible. Quantum logic bending the rules of computation. Materials reshaping the laws of strength. All of it is real. All of it is happening right now. And you are alive during one of the most extraordinary transitions in human history. Alive at a time when we will redefine what's possible. Alive at the beginning of technologies that future generations will study, debate, and marvel at. So hold on to the wonder. Hold on to the curiosity, because the future is no longer approaching. The future is here. And from this moment forward, every day is a step deeper into the extraordinary.